Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vadim. No, seriously, it's really me. Look, I know it's been a little while, so you might forget the details of my face. So just take a close look. See, I think, for instance, the jawline here is extremely similar. And, well, this is a more recent photograph right here. You know, I really should collect that reward money. But anyhow, have you guys ever read John Irving's The World According to Garp, or maybe seen the early 80s Robin Williams adaptation? Well, it's a childhood favorite of mine. And there's this one amazing scene where Garp and his wife are house shopping. They're right about to purchase this one house. And then from out of nowhere, this plane just flies in and crashes straight into it. Now, Garp is not really fazed by this at all, and with barely a thought, he just stands up, turns to the realtor, and says,
"We'll take the house."
So Garp's wife is, of course, understandably confused, but his reasoning here is kind of brilliant.
Honey, the chances of another plane hitting this house are astronomical. See, it's been pre-disastered. We're gonna be safe here.
It's such a clever idea, and it kind of feels like it should work in the movie and in real life, right? But no, of course it doesn't. Horrible things continue to happen in that house and Garp's life over and over because you can't disaster-proof your life. That's the point. Things just don't work that way. And that right there is a lesson that I really thought I had learned back when this was in mint condition and my hair looked like this for some reason. But maybe I never really did, because a lot has happened this year. I mean, a lot. And I just keep on thinking, well, I've done some renovations since that last horrible thing, so I should be okay, at least temporarily, right? Only then to watch as yet another fucking plane smashes into the rooftop of my life. Or more specifically, only to watch as a Dodge Ram pickup truck crashed into the back of my car at a pretty high speed, denting in the door so hard the back was permanently shut, and then smashed up the front somehow as it passed. And then 4 days later, I got COVID. So those are just a couple of very recent examples, but in general, it's just been that kind of year. I mean, I've only made one video this year. This one. Please watch it. At this point, I feel like it's my kid or something, but I really want to let you guys know how and why that happened. So I've talked a little bit in the past about a sleep disorder that I've been dealing with for years that is just really, excuse me, Wizard yawning while I'm making a video is very, very rude. And you know this. Yeah, you do. Okay, so I have this really bad sleep disorder, and I'd like to tell you guys a little bit more about it. So you know when you're in bed and you start slipping in between consciousness and unconsciousness, and your thoughts begin to melt into dream soup, and then you're just out? Well, I don't get that far, because I've been suffering from a form of night terrors. Every time I go to sleep, pretty much the split second I start drifting off, I will feel this pulse of energy right at the base of my skull. In that split second, my eyes jolt open, I'm gripped by this overwhelming primal fear, random muscles will twitch, or my arms and legs will shake rapidly or flail about, and more often than not, I'll scream at the top of my lungs. This all happens in a flash. But it doesn't really end there, because on most nights, this can go on for hours, over and over and over, and you get the point. This problem started occurring about 15 years ago, and it forced some pretty major lifestyle changes, but for the most part, I was kind of able to function, so I just lived with it. But then around August of 2021, I started to notice that things were quickly deteriorating. And by December, things had just gone completely off the rails, and I just couldn't function. I was getting 2 to 3 hours worth of sleep maximum over the course of every 72-hour period. And after each of those 2.5 to 3 day periods, I'd finally be so sleep deprived that I would just collapse. But even then, I'd only managed to get about 2 to 3 hours worth of sleep. Maybe 4 if I was lucky. I am so not shitting you here. I know that it sounds a little crazy, it might sound impossible, but those sudden jolts that I had were just that persistent and powerful. I would go on daily walks in a total daze, just trying to exhaust myself. I don't really think it helped that much, but I found out that I lived near an alpaca farm, and incidentally, Alpacas have really fucked up teeth, you know that? And all that's pretty cool, I guess, but for the most part, it just sucked. I could barely string sentences together. Extraordinarily simple things would just absolutely boggle my mind. My body felt like jello, and my brain felt like it was pumped full of helium. It was all very frightening and very, very, very distressing. But I just couldn't even begin to process it emotionally because I just didn't have the brain power. I mean, I had no clue when, how, or even if any of this would ever end. It went on for 6 straight weeks. That is, until I was prescribed a combination of 2 new medications. And oh my God, they worked. Like, really worked. And they've continued to work. And they're still working right now, today. Amazing. Things started getting better. I had increased energy. I mean, I was finally sleeping like an actual semi-normal person.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm back in this, and you know what? I will take this house because I'm good now, and the chances of another plane hitting it are astronomical. It's not gonna happen. It's been pre-disastered. I'm gonna be safe here. I'm impervious to bad things for now. Everything is going to be horrible.
Everyone on board is dead.
Because I still had a few things that I had to deal with, I guess. Depression for one. I actually had that for a few years already. But somehow it was just way easier to deal with during that all-nighter I pulled that ended up lasting a decade and a half. Back then, my mind was just constantly enveloped inside these thick clouds of brain fog, and they were dissolving now, which was great. But once they did, I could just feel everything so much more acutely. And now here was all this unresolved accumulated depression I had to deal with. Yay! So there was that, but also in June I was diagnosed with ADD, and then just this September I was diagnosed with OCD. At its worst, I spent an entire month reworking the same page over and over, and I would say to myself, dude, you have to move on, and I would, but then I just get this tickle in the back of my head that would say, okay, you gotta go back now, but just for 5 minutes. And then boom, entire day, gone. I think the best way that I could possibly describe it is in David Lynch's Wild at Heart. Crispin Glover plays this total weirdo, Cousin Dale. And there's this one moment where he's standing alone in the kitchen in the dark, and he's been cutting all these sandwiches into fine little cubes, like a mountain of them. And so his mom walks in and asks Dale, "What are you doing?" And he replies,
"I'm making my lunch!"
Yeah, so that character, like, really speaks to me. I don't so much connect with the whole putting cockroaches in your underwear thing. Yeah, it's not really for me. But this right here is just exactly what my OCD feels like. Just cutting sandwiches into tiny little cubes for eternity. But you know what? Things are getting back to normal now, which is really great. Last month did get off to a shaky start. Hurricane Ian really sucked. It was kind of another one of these. But you know what? A week later, I got my OCD medication, and that was great. I mean, I could not be making this video right now without it. The whole thing had just gotten like this, and now it's starting to look a little bit more like this. And so I can actually get back to work now. I'm super excited about that. However, I'm here today because I need to reach out to all of you and ask for your help. The time I've taken off has created enormous financial difficulties. And so I'd really love and appreciate your support right now. And not just because of any of this, or this, or this, or this, or this, but really because I am just so psyched to get back to work. My next video, I can't really say that much about it, but I will say that someone who inexplicably has received a lot of free passes here on the internets, they've been up to some really awful, crazy shit, and I don't think anybody really knows about it. Oh, and the one time that I happened to tweet about it, I immediately received a message from like this QAnon Graper alt-right dork, said that they were going to find my physical address and gut me. And that's actually pretty great because this is a story that I really want people to know about. It's kind of crazy that they don't already, but it actually makes perfect sense because there's just some people that don't get called out in this world. So fuck them. Fuck their Pizzagate brain dork fans. that they rode in on the stupid bus. We're gonna make that video. I have another one that I'm really looking forward to, the human political dumpster fire known as Jimmy Dore. It's so embarrassing. Like, even by Jimmy Dore standards. There's another Jordan Peterson video with a whole bunch of Nazis, although probably not any of the Nazis that you already associate with Jordan Peterson. Look, guys, the bottom line here is that there were a lot of things that maybe I couldn't do over the course of the past year, but one thing that I definitely could do was research. And so I really just have so much to share with you guys, and yeah, it's really exciting. I can't wait to get back to work. And what the fuck is going? Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah, that just that cannot be good. Oh fuck, guys, I'm really sorry. Our cat budget just ran out, and I feel awful about this because I really wanted to give you guys like a fun treat within this video, and so I just thought cram in a whole bunch of cats, you know, just like surround myself with cats. I even storyboarded it because I know how much you love that sort of thing. But you know what? Let's just see how much I got here. And well, looks like 17 cents, and oh, okay. Guys, I'm gonna go see just what I can get for all this. Okay, so it turns out that I was actually able to get a whisker for that much. And you know what? I actually think that this is a really great start, but as you may have noticed, this is not a cat. It's not even one cat. We're gonna need a whole bunch of them, guys, because you haven't seen the other storyboards yet. There's all these other cats. And I know that you guys really want that, and I so want to give it to you. It's like our shared dream, but unfortunately, with all my money problems right now, this is as much cat as I can currently afford. So hey, if you guys would like to increase my cat budget while also helping me eat and stuff, well then of course Patreon is always a great way to support me. Link to that down below. However, guys, I want to make it clear that the challenges that I have right now are honestly a little daunting. For one, my next video, well, it probably won't get monetized, and not making that video, it's just not an option. I mean, what I found out is way too fucked to not make that video. So there's that. And next, guys, I am so much better now. I mean, I feel like I'm just coming back to life these days, for real. But it's still very much a process. See all these files right here? Well, that's all from this one video. And that's not even all of them. I mean, it's most of them, but it's not all. So gaze upon my kitchen table filled with sandwiches cut into tiny little cubes. Now, fortunately, that sort of thing is happening less and less these days. A lot less, actually. But I am still kind of getting the hang of being human again. And so there's a transition there with its ups and downs. And that's all the more reason why a helping hand right now will really allow me to breathe easy as I ramp all the way back up to full work mode. And so that right there brings me back to my ow! Fuck! Patreon. So the important thing to note about that is, although of course any support is greatly appreciated and I value my patrons very, very much, with Patreon, it won't be until the following month after I post my next video that I would be able to receive those funds. And just to be completely honest, I kind of do need this money as soon as possible. So if you happen to be able to donate through PayPal, Cashapp, Venmo, Money Bunny, CoinKing, or Zelle, then that would be really helpful and fantastic. Now, only 4 of these actually exist, but I'm trying to give you a lot of options here. Now, links to all of that are down below, but hey, to sweeten the deal, if you are generous enough to give $50 or more to the cat budget, of course, you will get a bonus super duper cool cat credit in your honor in my next video. Now, what does that look like? Bam! Frank Zito. Give $100 and boom, Helen Frankenthaler. Or give $500,000 and bip, Sir Michael Caine. You get a cat for every $50. Donations over $50 but not perfectly rounded will get you partial cats. You can choose the font, the background, and you can even describe what kind of breed, age, and color you want your cat to be. And that's all for no extra charge, so long as you don't try and send it through Money Bunny or Coin King, because those don't exist. Don't try and send it that way. And hey, if none of those are options for you, well then consider following me right here at HeyIt'sVadim on Twitter and retweeting my pinned post of this video. That would be really helpful either way, or leave some kind words of encouragement, because that's amazing, and I could definitely use that too. And please, please, please subscribe to Chill Goblin. He made all these crazy off-the-hook animations. He's super funny, and if you remotely like this channel, I know you'll love his, so do that! And guys, before I go, I feel like I should just apologize about the whole cat budget thing. I feel... Oh my god! Whoa! Wow, Kira, I can't believe you're... Ew, gross! I'm gonna have to clean that up. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Oh, guys! Something's happening! Cat budget saved! Wow! We did it! We saved the cat budget, you guys! Holy shit! I can't fucking believe we did that! Thank you! And hey, super huge thanks to these folks right here. You guys are great. Carla Thompson, thank you for being rad. We're gonna keep the thanks train a chugging with Noah Warner. Just an all-around huge friend, enormous human being. Thanks, Noah. And once again, Chill Goblin, if you are not already subscribed to him, then like, what are you doing to yourself, to me? I don't like it. I would much rather you be subscribing to Chill Goblin. Do it now! Huge thanks. And we're talking like the sum total of all the thanks in the universe here to my patrons. Honestly, it was just fantastic to return to Patreon recently and see that so many of you were still there. And for real, I'm just humbled to have so many wonderfully supportive humans like yourselves making my work possible. Thank you for that. And finally, to any of you who are also dealing with health issues or just going through some stuff, keep your head up, keep pushing, be proactive. That could be the hardest thing to do in the world sometimes, and it's not always easy, but things absolutely will get better if you just are proactive. So keep fighting. I believe in you and I see you, so just keep it up. So, hey everybody, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hug your cats.